Welcome to the Digital Amateur Television Experimenters Night. This is VK0WN the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania. Amateur radio is a worldwide hobby that has many different aspects. Digital television is just one of the many modes and areas that are covered. Maybe you're interested in becoming involved in the DATV Experimenters Nights. Do you realise that you do not have to be a radio amateur or need any ATV equipment to participate anywhere in the world? Also participate in the night by coming up to the Queen's Domain clubrooms. Yes, right on top of the Queen's Domain in the heritage-listed Coast Wireless Station. You never know, we might get you in front of the camera or behind doing one of the many roles during the night. We get underway with our program on a Wednesday night from 7:30 p.m. local time. We'll see you soon. This is VK7 OTC.
And good evening, this is VK7 OTC, the club station of the Radio and Electronics Association of Southern Tasmania with our DATV Experimenters Night and VK7 Tango Whiskey Justin at the microphone tonight. Now this is sadly our last one for 2025. We go into about a fortnight's rest period, I suppose you'd say. Because we have next week is Christmas Eve and the week after that is New Year's Eve. So we're taking a bit of an opportunity to have a rest. So anyway, before we get underway, I wish to acknowledge Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the traditional owners of this land upon which we're presenting tonight and pay my respects to elders past and present, for they hold the memories, the knowledge, the culture and hopes of Aboriginal Tasmania. So tonight we've got a huge program that we'll try and get through. The very first part of the program, I have a good friend at where I work who is very into Japanese cars and Japanese culture and all things therein. And he's kitting out one of his vehicles with a whole lot of I suppose you'd say retro Pioneer gear. Pioneer produced all sorts of things, car radios, the radios we're going to look at tonight, and all sorts of things in between. So, and one of the things he brought in was a wonderful little radio called a JXE2. And he said, "Oh, you'd know about this sort of stuff because you're into radio." And I looked at this thing and I went, "Ooh, this is pretty special. I have never seen one of these because this is a personal communicator on 900 megahertz and 904 megahertz band. RF output is 5 watts and runs off 12 volts. Now." This is, we actually never saw the 900 megahertz personal communicator or 900 megahertz CB band in Australia. They never ever allocated it. However, in Japan and the US, Canada, the UK, their regulators did actually implement a 900 megahertz, part of the way down low in the 900 megahertz band, an allocation for what they called personal communicators, which were sort of it's a bit of a cross between a CB, so a UHF CB, a high, very high frequency UHF CB, and a mobile phone, because actually mobile phones in Australia did take over part of the 900 megahertz band very early on. So it's in that crossover period. But the Japanese embraced this. The statistics that I read about were there would have been 2 million of the 900 megahertz licenses. Now you could just apply for the license and get it. It wasn't like our class license. It wasn't type approved gear and all of that sort of stuff. You could apply. You didn't need to do any sort of assessment. You could apply, get the license, and you could then put one of these in your vehicle or have it at home, and voila, you had a personal communicator, which was a bit more sophisticated than your CB, and a bit more radio-like than your mobile phone, I suppose you'd say. With a period of time, we're talking late 1980s, early 1990s, and they... of course, I put into ChatGPT, tell me the history of 900 megahertz personal communicators, and it came up with all sorts of stuff. And one of the things it came up with was a bunch of regulators looked at a quiet patch of spectrum around 900 megahertz and thought, what if CB radio, but slightly less feral and slightly more expensive? And I have to say, I don't know what these were worth originally, but they are quite an impressive. Quite an impressive. I'm not sure whether we can get this on the document cam. Let me come over here to the edge. Is that going to focus? Yes, it is. Okay. So this is the, and I'll turn it over, the JX-E2 Personal Communications Transceiver. And you can see there's a bunch of memory settings. You can put in channels. It comes up with 5 group numbers up here. This particular unit does work, and I'll show you a video of it working in shortly. There was an S meter and an RF meter on here. You could recall memories. You could set the squelch level and the volume. It had an external speaker. Had a little microphone that you could do searches on the memory channels that you had stored, or go back to a standard setting. Fairly standard. You've got mute out or external speaker. You've got a wiring loom, which looks very much like a car radio wiring loom, because there were backlights in here that were lit. So it's nice little unit. 900 megahertz. So there's a bit of history around this, which because we have an allocation. We have an allocation in Australia now, which primarily is the industrial, scientific, medical type of classification. So really low power. Really low power devices, very short range type devices. But what we're talking about here is like 5 watts into half reasonable antennas. This is one of the pioneer antennas that went with it. You can see it says PC transceiver antenna ANX4. It's a mag base. The interesting thing here in doing a bit of research is in Japan particularly, the antennas, now this is I'd say probably a collinear arrangement. It's got loading coils every so often, but they are specifically orange, and they used to call the orange tops. So you'd know that a particular car had a 900 megahertz this personal communicator, because the antennas were always orange. Here's another antenna, and it's got a little orange cap on the end of it. And all N-type connectors on here, all N-type connectors on the transceiver. So all very and lower loss coax. At that almost 1 gig sort of range. Anyway, now what? Oh, mag base absolutely hooks onto everything. So the magnet in the mag base is still okay. In America, they used to call it the 33 centimeter band. Yeah, and I did a bit of a. I don't know whether we can. Yes, we can. Okay, so. Countries that ran, or pointedly did not run, 900 megahertz personal communications services. In the US, they had 902 to 908. It was a license exempt under SEC Part 15 rules, late 1980s to 1990s. Handheld, short-range personal devices. This is where it really happened. Open use, lots of experimentation, then chaos when cordless mobile phones moved into this particular band. In Canada, they had a very similar arrangement. Australia never actually implemented at all. In Europe, there was some allocation down below, so 890 to 915, but mobile phones took over, GSM mobile phones took over. Japan was where it was at. Heavily controlled, so you applied for a license. You had all sorts of devices, and I'll show you another device in a minute. Highly regulated, closed system only, no CB-like service tolerated. And at its heyday, there were about 2 million users of this particular service in Japan. So, and it was called the Personal Radio Service, the PRS. Now, I'll put in the video description. There is a wonderful YouTube channel called Ringway Manchester. If you haven't come across it, they have all sorts of really eclectic stuff on all sorts of radios and all sorts of devices, RF type devices, and they have a wonderful, absolutely wonderful short video, about a 6-minute video on the 934 megahertz CB service in the UK, and he actually goes through quite a number, including the two that I'm going to show you tonight of the personal radio service transceivers. So I'll post the link to that in the chat. Now, the one that intrigued me the most, that Paul managed to get, and both of these have come from Japan, so both of these have been shipped across, purchased on a Japanese eBay or Japanese online site. This is the NEC unit. Now, the NEC unit, personal radio telephone. Actually, this is worth a bit of a look under the dot cam, because this is the personal radio telephone service, and this is the NEC unit, and it's the Skybird. Now, this particular unit is literally a black box. It is just a box that has some mounting hardware on it. It all comes out to power. It's got, as I mentioned, the N-type connector, and a cord that goes off to the handset. Now, the handset, this is fascinating, because the handset has a whole lot of things in Japanese. So I got out my trusty Google Translate and translator, and if I can find the piece of paper, just bear with me. Here it is. The piece of paper the piece of paper has, when Google Translate came up with the particular Japanese characters, there is little indicators for standby and call and send, and there's another one here which is not on long enough for Translate to get over. There's a memory read, a recall, a rock, this takes you back to settings. So I think this might be a return setting. Monitor and the squelch setting. There is an end of episode, and in English there is a CQ button. So I found that was fascinating. On the side there is a on-off button, so that's just a press button, and a volume control because there is a speaker in the handset. And just to show you that it is a handset, you can pull it out and use it as you're driving along. You can you can have the conversation on your personal communicator. There is a push to talk button on the side of it. And it comes up with the channel numbers in the actual handset. There are five digits of the channel that you actually selected in the handset. So now, do these actually work? Well, they do. I did a bit of playing last night, and if I put both of these on. Just let me go back to the chat. And also say hello to Matt and Darren and John Bronson, Ken in New Zealand. We've got Stephen, we've got Darren, and we've got Ron on the channel. So I'll just get I actually got the two talking to each other with dummy loads last night. So just let me get this up. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Now let's see how we go here. Let me go to the document camera. So you can see here. Oh no! Let me go away from that. The whiskey. So I've got them both on 0000. You can see I'm pressing the push to talk on the Skybird, and it's actually being received on the Pioneer unit, and obviously there's a bit of feedback there. I did do a bit of talking between the two of them, and they both appear to work. So there you go. There's a personal communicator. Let me just kill that. So the two personal communicators do actually still work on the 900 megahertz band. I'll just add to that I did have dummy loads on each of those, so they weren't actually transmitting out into the 900 megahertz spectrum. Now, there were, in Japan at least, there were many other manufacturers. Kenwood, Yaesu, ICOM, so all the amateur manufacturers all manufactured 900 megahertz personal communicators. There was also Panasonic, Sony, NEC, which we've got, the Skybird, Fujitsu, and a whole bunch of others that also. Most of them were 80 channel. They were all FM. And phase lock loop synthesized, so they were all pretty modern technology for the time, all on 900 megs. And yeah, we never saw these in Australia because we never had an allocation, and so there was no impetus for any companies to bring them into Australia because they wouldn't have been able to have been used, or they would have been able to have been used, but illegally. And of course, the mobile phone spectrum and a few other things took over that part of the spectrum. So that part of the spectrum became lucrative for our regulator. But anyway, so the NEC Skybird and the Pioneer JXES2 personal communicator. So a huge thank you to Paul Wilson, who let me bring these in. I remember reading about these in, I think, EA or ETI or something like that magazine, and sort of a bit of intrigue. It was, I think it was very much thought to be yet another CB band, and UHF was starting to take off at that stage, and we had the UHF CB allocation, but 900 megs, well, that was taking it to another level. So anyway, personal communicator, 900 meg, sort of in between CB and mobile phones. So there you go. Hello, Andy. Now, Andy, in the UK, there was certainly, and you probably know about the Ringway Manchester YouTube channel that has some fascinating stuff on it, but you might be able to fill us in whether you ever played with the 900 meg allocation in the UK, because there was certainly some interest in the UK, and they shipped product to the UK. So yeah, 900 meg 900 meg CB or personal communicator. But anyway, and we've got Nick and Dave and Brendan and BKQ, and we've got Clayton. Hello, Clayton, ZCR. So yes, okay. Andy's just said yes. So fantastic. If you can fill us in a little bit about your experience with 900 megs, that'd be fantastic. So and while you're doing that, in the meanwhile, we'll get Warren, who's just come into the studio. So hello, Warren. Come in.
Hello, Justin.
You can.
Yes.
And bring now. We gave you a bit of a taster of this last week.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
So welcome.
So, yeah. Well,
yeah.
Here's the paperwork. Yeah. So, no, very interesting with these. These are like the very early sort of like car telephones and things like that. Huh?
Correct. They were the things in between.
Mm.
So before you had what we'd now call mobile phones, which were about that size and bigger in cars, this was the personal communication radio, PRS service in that is what they called it in Japan. So yeah. you were the bee's knees if you had one of these in your car, and you were called an orange top because of the antenna, the orange top antenna, and you had the ability to not only talk on your PRS, you were.
Yeah, no, you would have been. You would have been like ahead of the game with that sort of thing.
Well and truly.
It reminds me back in the day when I was still in Germany. So we're talking 70s here.
Okay.
There was a taxi or taxi equivalent in the city where I lived, and they equipped themselves with these car telephones, which were basically radios, I guess, very similar to these sort of things.
Yeah.
And I think they got a little bit into hot water because they just had that advantage over normal taxis. So it became an issue. I don't know. A good friend of mine, she was a driver for that company. So yeah, that's just a little anecdote there that I recall.
The taxi service was actually where a lot of the product went. The radio car phones, which is the AWA car phone, was actually called a car phone. That was the brand, what you actually bought. They were huge. They were huge boxes. They started off being valves, so you had a big power supply associated with it that would drain the battery really quickly. So you couldn't have the radio on for very long. Just fantastic. I just love it.
Yes.
Now,
okay.
And now we have a working
Right.
we have a working document doc cam, so we can now show it up close and personal. This is the Squeeze Kia. So give us a bit of history. You can put it up there.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess you could say I was lucky enough in my sort of younger teenager days to live very close to a amateur radio club.
Okay.
And so I kind of didn't know anything about ham radio back then, but what they seemed to do looked interesting, and they had interesting antennas up on the roof and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, let's see what's going on. And yeah, they sort of invited me in.
Okay.
So I had a brief encounter with amateur radio. They were also running courses there to get your license.
Okay.
I commenced one of the courses. Didn't get to finish it though. So.
Okay.
But then many years later, after coming out to Australia and coming out to Tasmania and discovering Reast, I got back into it. So here we are. However, going back to the 70s, when I was all keen, I got myself a Morse key. And
Very keen.
in those days, Morse, of course, was
King.
Essential to get your license.
Yep.
And
I did it as part of my license.
good on you, mate. Yeah, so I honestly can't recall what got me to purchase a paddle key, but it seemed like a cool thing. I must have seen it from someone else and thought,
Okay.
yeah, that's a pretty cool thing, and it probably was reasonably affordable because I didn't have much money then.
This is Morse on steroids.
This is more some steroids, yes. Now, okay, so our amateur radio friends will have all seen paddle keys, the single paddle as well as the twin paddle.
Yep.
So it's really no big secret as to what this, I guess, is and what it does.
Yep.
But it is a device going back to the 70s, and I guess like many paddle keys, does the camera pick this up?
Well, we can go to the doc cam. That's probably the easiest.
Okie doke.
Let's go here.
So I think it's fairly common for the twin paddles that when you press one key, you just have a continuous string of DARs.
Oh, now has this got a speaker in it?
Well, that's the interesting thing. Normally it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But the intermediate owner that had it modified it and added a speaker to it.
Excellent.
So by default,
Are we happy to plug it in?
yes,
Warren?
let's plug it in.
Let's
here.
plug it. If you go around the
I
other
can get
side there is a spare.
Let's plug this in.
Now I'm holding on to this, so I'm
Okay.
I'm
Now, what we do. Okay. So we got it up there, and
we'll go there.
and
All right, give us a.
just switch it on here. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Presuming the sound is coming through. So, yeah, this one was modified to have a speaker.
Okay.
By default, it had only an earphone jack, so you had to sort of plug headphones into the back.
Yep. Okay.
But the the good fellow who had it for a while added, I guess, a little
Addition
audio amplifier and a speaker to it.
and some holes in the side.
Yes, and he drilled the holes in a very accurate
Definitely.
formation there, so in a
Definitely.
nice straight line. So
Definitely.
yeah, Deutsche Qualität.
Okay.
Yeah, German quality at its best. So, yeah, and he added this switch to it, which is, I guess, to turn the speaker on and off.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, with paddle keys, I think it's typical that the thumb does the dits and your finger does the DARs.
Yep.
And if you hold them together, then it sort of alternates like that.
Cool.
So, And that's basically all there's to it, and the knob on the side then adjusts the speed. So,
So
interestingly, you'd think,
it's the other way around.
yeah, I don't know.
That's the high-speed Morse.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's a tune button.
Yeah, a little bit of a scratchy contact there, but I guess that's when you want to
which is
tune
full
up
on.
the antenna.
So full on, see, a continuous wave.
Yeah,
That's what that's producing. Okay. Okay.
continuous wave.
Cool.
Yeah, so
I love it. And in the back, there is side tone output and keying output, and then there is another jack. Okay.
yeah, so that I think yeah, what do we got? We've got the keying output, so that would be just it actually has a high-speed relay in there. It's a read relay, which
Right.
is a high-speed one. So
Okay.
that's what you would then put into your transmitter, I guess, where normally the straight key would plug into.
Yep.
And what does that one there
Side
say?
tone output.
Side tone output. Well, that's probably
So that's the actual tone that you're hearing, I suspect, is coming out of here. Whereas this is just keying it on and off for the push to talk.
and so this was probably an add-on. So that was probably an add-on for your headphones, maybe.
TASTE.
So,
No, okay.
or well, that says Taster. Maybe.
Yeah.
No, maybe you can add an external key in there.
Oh, okay. So a straight key into there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
No.
very good. Very good indeed. Okay, we'll put it here so it's slightly easier to operate. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, so of course, if you're already used to a paddle keyer, and then you try someone else's paddle key, it's
It's never quite the same.
even though the logic should be the same,
Oh,
it's just not the same.
Which
Yeah.
it is. Which
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. But I love the fact the manual. It's a typical 1970s manual, which comes with a complete circuit diagram, including they represent the logic as the actual ICs. They don't just put the gates in here with pin numbers. They actually represent the whole IC, which is an interesting way of doing it. And so you've got some NAND gates. You've got some JK flip flops. You've got a other flip flop with some logic included in the switching J and the K. So you've got an AND gate on the J and the K, and then you've got an AND gate with which have got 3 inputs. So that's why there's only 3 in the package. So there you go. I love it. With a bit of that's a multi-vibrator.
Yeah, that'll be your oscillator
Yeah,
there, or
well and truly.
S-stable.
Yeah, S-stable multi-vibrator. Well and truly. Circuit.
So there should be the I guess this would be the speed control.
Correct.
Then there.
Yep. And that's literally imbalancing one side to the other to change speed, to change the period between the two of them. So,
Yeah, so
I love it.
Fascinating. So this has no processor as such in it, no CPU, no
I love it.
Arduino or whatever. It's just TDL logic.
I love it.
And I see it's actually only 2 screws, I think, to open it up. So what do you reckon, Justin? Do you think we should have a peek
I might
inside?
get you to unplug it for me.
And you have a screwdriver at
I
hand?
do. I have a
Oh,
screwdriver in my
okay.
pocket. Always carry a screwdriver in my pocket. Both a straight and a Phillips head. I'll note that it's a straight-headed screw. So none of this crazy Phillips head stuff.
There we go. So isn't it wonderful when you can sort of get into the equipment with ease?
No,
There
I
we
got
go.
it.
Okay, we
and
got
that's
it.
shorter. Yeah. It's shorter on this side, underneath the.
Interesting. Okay, we'll remember that. The short one goes where the cable goes in. So let's see if we can actually
it goes that way.
push it through. Oh yes, look. So we do have it unplugged. Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
Ah, okay. Now if you take that.
Look at
oh
this.
Gosh. Wow. Check that out. That looks old, and you can see sort of the
TTL in the back there. Okay.
All right.
Now, the shock value.
Let's have a look.
Now let's just let that
Is that focused?
focus. There we go.
Okay.
It auto focuses. So there is back of the pot. There is a fuse in there. This is the reed relay that you were talking about. So there's a relay that goes. There's a reed that goes through there, and then it's surrounded by the relay coil, which is this purple on the outside. So that's the reed relay. There's some capacitors and bits and pieces which I think have been added extra for the speaker.
Yeah, that's probably the audio amplifier.
Yeah.
To drive the speaker.
And then the logic is sitting underneath that on a printed circuit board. 240 volt. 220 to the low voltage for the and the regulator and everything in here. So
yeah, it was amazing work to find a speaker that would just fit in there quite snugly.
Oh, well and truly, look at that. That is exactly the right size.
Like the speaker was almost custom made for that.
I love it.
So
and then there's a bit of mechanics in here with some adjustments on either side of here, which I assume is the gap.
And I think the paperwork here actually has a drawing that refers to the mechanics there.
Okay.
So I love this documentation because it's sort of bilingual here. It has the technische Daten as well as the specifications.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I hear the circuit board layout or part of it.
For 110 and 220 volt.
So I'll just read a sentence here out of the Funktionsbeschreibung. Über die Diode D1 wird die Wechselspannung vom Trafo gleichgerichtet und mit nachgeschaltetem Zener-Diode Z1 und dem Längsttransistor T1 auf 5 Volt elektronisch stabilisiert. Yes, so in short,
5 volt regulator.
Yeah. So
don't you love technical German? they push all these words together.
They do. So and then basically it says through the diode the AC gets the AC from the transformer gets rectified and is then gets stabilized through the Zener diode. And interesting, Längsttransistor is actually a new term. I wonder if that actually means it's like an emitter.
It would be a bypass transistor to give you higher current, I reckon, on the 5 volt.
Probably we should be able to
on the circuit. Here we go.
See that in the circuit. No.
T1. There we go.
Yeah.
There's the Zener diode.
Well, it is basically an emitter follower, isn't it?
Yeah, well and truly.
Yeah.
So it provides the stabilized, the voltage stabilized bias for T1 and gives you a bit more current through T1.
Yeah.
It's only a BC108, so we're only talking about what 200 milliamps. I think is a BC108 from memory.
Yes.
So.
Yes. So.
I love it.
There should be the power supply here. Do they talk about Z1 somewhere here? No? Oh, maybe they've left that out. Anyways.
I love it.
Let's go to, what do they talk here about? Well.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Tension adjustment.
Okay. Well, there's some... Yeah, there's a bit of a description here about the mechanics of it, but I think
all of this area.
within there, it looks like that is a fairly solid casing, I guess, so that we don't have any sort of weak mechanical tip or anything like that. But
Good German engineering.
yeah, wunderbar.
Wunderbar. I love it. I love it.
And yeah, so there's actually these screws here reasonably accessible too for adjusting, I guess, the amount of travel that the pedals do.
Tension adjustment. They don't actually talk about this one. That's interesting. Just a minute, hang on. Oh, okay. It's interesting because the only thing that talks about adjusting the tension is in German.
Is in German only.
Is in German, which is fine now, but in the 1970s you would have had to have found someone who knew technical German. I tell you a quick funny story about technical German.
Yeah.
My old man, who was VK0WN worked for the Electricity Trust of South Australia, and his specialty was underground fault location. So time domain reflectometry is basically, he used to do it manually. So send a signal manually down the cable, do the calculations on the velocity factor of the cable, and work out that it was 35 feet down the cable when they had to dig up that part of the cable, or go to the manholes between those two cables and cut that piece of cable. Then they tendered and they got a van with a time domain reflectometry, all specialist equipment that all came from Germany. And they took the covers off, and of course everything was labelled in German. And so he had to go and find somebody, a lovely lady who knew technical German, and as she was saying what it was, they were doing dymo labels and sticking them over the other labels, the German labels, so they actually knew what the knob did. Beautiful equipment, very well made equipment, but slight problem with the fact that they didn't actually specify that everything had to be in English.
Was foreign language only, all in German. Yes.
So that was interesting, but that was when I learnt that technical German is actually different than German. Like you could get somebody in who knows standard German, but they'd look at a word and go, I can sort of work it out, but
yes, because the Germans will concatenate the words, and you end up with some relatively long words that actually are a combination of many words.
Well and truly. This is fantastic, Warren. This is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it.
So I think I probably would have had that open once after it arrived here in Australia, because
the long one.
This cable here is a
modern one with the guard on it.
Has the Australian style plug on it, and it's a molded plug.
Yes,
so obviously this whole cable was fitted, and then looking by the joints inside, it's kind of a classic Warren style
heat shrink.
It's
safe. It's safe. It's definitely safe.
And it also seemed that the original wires weren't too, where they are soldered onto the circuit board, a little bit tricky to get to those spots. So looks like I decided to just snip them to a bit of a tail lead, and then join those with the new cable.
I love it.
And then the heat shrink over that.
Well, it works very well.
But, it's the right size cable, and the way it feeds into the back, it looks almost original. Yes, so
I love it. Now, the $64,000 question here is:
Can I operate it?
Well, no, but
No?
has it? Well, this part. No, hold on, hang on, hang on.
Okay.
Has this sort of, given you that desire to learn again?
It has, yes. It, and when did COVID come out? It was sort of 2020, wasn't it?
Correct.
And here in Tasmania, we all had to undergo lockdowns and things like that. And I stumbled across a YouTuber who started up a channel called Lockdown Morse.
Okay.
A guy in the UK.
Okay.
And his style and method of teaching Morse code appealed to me. And
Okay.
I started to get into that. So
I love it.
watch this space. I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
Things have other things have happened in the meantime. Ended up going to Antarctica and a few things like that. I probably took this with me to Casey Station, thinking, if I had the time, I'd get right into it.
Well,
But
surely.
didn't work out to be like that.
Well, you were certainly on the radio in Casey.
Yes, and in fact, our QSL manager dropped off a few new cards for me. So
Look at this.
some are the Casey ones. So we have here.
Okay. Hang on. Let's show
Okay,
them.
so that's now these are for the local VK0WN.
Okay.
So they're probably more recent.
And that's from Germany.
But hang on, this is September 22. This is when I was down there. So interestingly, confirmation with so this is
VK0.
one.
Well and truly.
VK0. What about that one there? Is that what's the date on that one? What year?
No, that's 19th of August,
That's a new one. Okay,
2025.
that's 25. Yeah.
So you can see here that it's with VK0 Whiskey November, Antarctica, from Japan,
Yep.
Nagano City,
Yeah.
JR0GXA.
So that was a contact. What does the front of the card look like?
No.
Oh no. Okay,
No.
that's just a.
Only the front.
Okay, so this one actually has two QSOs on it, from the same operator in Japan.
Who's a hang glider, or no, that's not hang glider.
Paraglider, maybe?
Paraglider, that's it. Yeah, VK0 Whiskey November, there we go. Yoshihito Hoshino. Or Jin. Okay.
So what else have we got? This is 23, so this is, I'm back here. So this
he's
is
back.
Vicky.
Now.
And that is JE, another Japan. The Japanese are very keen on QSL.
Now this
cards,
is pretty
aren't
impressive because he's got his home shack, he's got mobile operation, he's got his second shack, and then he's got his third shack or second house. So he's got options. Takashi Goto. Or Tak.
And by the looks of it, I was portable at the time. So January
Cool.
21. I was actually in Victoria at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Now-
this is special.
This is New Caledonia,
This is New Caledonia. Very nice.
and it looks like we had a German operator working in New Caledonia.
Ooh,
'Cause
yes.
Look at the call sign.
Yes, yes. FK/DL8JDX. You know these are nightmare call signs in CW, but
Are they?
because I'm on call signs right at the moment as I walk to and from work, and that's a nightmare call sign. I'll just tell you.
Oh, we've got two cards
Got
there.
two there,
So
two there. Oh, now that looks pretty special.
I'll have to look up my own log book to
This
see
is
what sort of
22.
notes.
So,
That
no,
was
this is
six.
VK0 Whiskey November. This
Yes,
is
this is
this is
September.
Antarctica.
That's in Antarctica. Yep. So September 1922. I was definitely at Casey Station at the time.
2022.
2022. Yes.
I don't think you were there in 1922.
Yes.
You might have been. You never know.
You never know. Yes.
Dorian Gray. THF. Like that. Look at that. That's Mount Fuji, I think. Isn't it Mount
I'd
Fuji?
say it probably is. It does look very much
It's very
like it.
iconic.
Mm.
That's quite a nice photo. That's great.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, and what do we got here? That's another
VK0
one
Whiskey
to
November.
VK0.
And he does his
again.
zeros properly. I love it.
September 2022 again.
Cool. And
Got on the front there. Oh, look at that.
oh,
Lots of snow and some like husky looking dogs.
Shiba Inu is Japanese natural treasure. So there you go. I assume that's the dog type.
And another one from Japan.
Nice. Very nice. Toyama.
When was that contact again?
Yeah, no, that's
again. It's September.
Yep.
Okay, so they're all from the very from that sort of September, the month of September, by the looks of it.
Here. Oh,
One more. Again, 22nd of September, 2022.
okay. Oh well,
Ooh, look at
lives
that.
closer to Mount Fuji.
Wow. And check out
Shizuoka.
the antenna.
Mm.
It,
Yes, very nice antenna. Hang on, I'll just bring it
Oh,
forward
yeah.
a bit.
Oh yeah, very nice antenna.
Very nice.
Last two.
Oh, and again, Zero Whiskey November. Oh,
Yeah.
Yamaguchi, Japan. Hidenari, Hirasa.
Okay.
Nice.
And last but not least.
Oh
look at
well,
that.
this is
that's
a stylized or a paper cut. Now, paper cut is very, very well known Japanese art form. Really, really fine paper cut. I've actually got. It was given to me by a Japanese amateur who came here. A beautiful paper cut, which surprise, surprise, is Mount Fuji. So there you go, Whiskey November.
Yes.
I love it.
So all these people will be waiting for my card sent to them in turn, which will happen, even if it's a bit late.
I love it.
But it will happen. And apart from all that, I'm also going to do a holiday trip to Japan next year.
Oh, okay.
End of February into March.
Okay.
About 4 weeks all up.
Cool. Cool.
So that should
That
be
doesn't
interesting.
take in Tokyo Hamfest, does it?
Not that I know of.
Right. Okay. No. I just,
Yes, yes.
Well, that is fantastic, Warren. That is excellent.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. And thank you for bringing this in. And good luck with the...
Well, let's hope, say, in later, I was going to say later this year, but next year, if we get up to speed with it, we should probably do some demonstrations with it.
Here.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll clear the deck here.
Thank you, Warren. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the invite to show this.
Something a bit special and something that has a wonderful history, wonderful German history.
And it's a solid reminder that I once upon a time was into ham radio, way back in the early 70s. Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Okay.
Thank you, Warren.
Rightio. Well, I'll go out there and have my cup of tea.
Oh, now, that's your box.
Rightio.
Now.
Do we need to call anybody else in?
No. Thank you. Thank you. So, and now Andy's come back to us. We had a big group of guys on the south coast. Now we use 900 megs for boom dock echo devices. Well, there you go. I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, there you go. Okay, now let me do a quick, what are we at? We're at 8:25. Okay, so very quickly, I'll cut some of this off. I was going to show you some, and I'll show you two. That'll mean we'll end up at 8:30. So About a month ago, I bought a whole lot of transmitting valves in. Interesting transmitting valves, big transmitting valves, and went through each of them and what their function was and all of that sort of stuff. So I thought I'll just bring in a couple that are a bit of a follow-up from what I showed last time. Now, I showed last time it was a 5CX 1500B tube. So if I put this under the dock cam, this was the forced cooling, and it's a 5, which means it's a pentode, and it's a 1500 watt, capable of producing 1500 watts. Now, I don't want to go through the tube again, but I did manage to find one that was still in its socket. And these sockets are an absolute work of art, and worth I suspect when they were new, they would have been worth an absolute fortune. If I turn this, and you turn it about, one way or the other. Oh, there we go. You can see the those blades coming out on each here, and I can lift it off, and we can have a bit of a closer look at the socket. So there is a bank of, in this case, there's a bank of 3, there's a bank of 4 and a bank of 3 here. Connections, so they're wipe connections. As you turn it around, it wipes in between each of these, and you can see there's a whole lot of high voltage capacitors sitting on each of these, going down to ground, and then the other connections would have gone off to the various parts of the transmitter. But I just wanted to show the socket that this came in. Quite a special socket. You can see these are the connections. These are all the same, so they're all, but you can see there are 5, and then you've got an anode as well, which is the top cap. So that's the socket for the pentode that the 1500 watt pentode that I bought in before. So part turn, and if I turn it over, you'll see they're all wiping into the contacts on either side. So that's, I just wanted to show the socket that 1500 watt tube. Now that 1500 watt tube came out of a AM broadcast transmitter, and there were a number of the tube that I showed you the other day was from the same broadcast transmitter, and when we disassembled it, I grabbed the socket that went with the tube. So now let's go back in time, way back in time. This is the oldest tube, the oldest valve that I have in my collection. It is a Marconi Type R Triode valve. So I'm being very gentle here. This is, we're talking about 1918-ish, so 1916 to 18. It's a 5085G. It's a Marconi R tube. It's got a little R written on it, and then it's got the tube name of 5085G. It's a triode tube, so there is a cathode, a grid, and an anode, and that's it. You can see the Marconi WT company, made in England, and covered by various patents is printed on the tube. So this is a 1918 valve, triode valve. This is what took over in most spark transmitters. Absolutely fantastic, and absolutely the oldest valve that I have in my collection. So it's a Type R, and about 1918 is when this one would have been manufactured. So yeah, a bit of a prized part of my my valve collection. and very well packed. So you don't get valves too much older than that, and you can see from the construction that it's quite a simple valve. It's quite easily put together. General purpose high vacuum hard triode, developed during World War One, based on the French TM valve. The manufacturer was the Wireless Telegraphy Company. So there you go. So I just wanted to show you those two particular valves. One that you've seen before, but it's the socket part of it, and then the ancient valve, absolutely ancient valve. So there you go. Now space weather. There is a bit of a warning out, which I didn't realise that there was. If I go to clubrooms, okay, there's a geomagnetic warning. Earth is expected to enter into a coronal hole wind stream on the 18th of December, so tomorrow. There may be an increase in geomagnetic activity from late in the UT day on the 17th of December, so now, effectively. Mostly G0, chance of G1, so we're not talking very much here. What does the tropospheric ducting look like for the next few days? Not a bad path across to Western Australia. Maybe 6 metre contacts into Western Australia, but not much unless you're up around Broome and going into the Indian Ocean. Yeah, so not much from the Hepburn chart point of view. So space weather, yeah, you know, there's a bit there, and we're still getting over for the CME event that happened a couple of weeks ago. We have had some interesting 6 metre activity across to Mexico and the US and a few other places. So yeah. Now, just a reminder, we're going on a two-week rest period over Christmas. So next week is actually Christmas Eve, and then the Wednesday night after that is actually New Year's Eve. So we've decided we're not going to put on an ATV night or an experimenter's night from there. But just a quick reminder, our first foundation training and assessment day is on the 21st of February next year. So please, if you're interested in doing your foundation license, please let us know. Get in contact with our learning organizer, reast.assessor@gmail.com, and book in that you're going to be there. And just a reminder that on January the 18th is our big Carboot sale and sausage sizzle down here at the Queen's Domain Clubrooms. And then on February the 4th, we've got interpretation of ionospheric data for prediction purposes, for propagation prediction purposes, with Roger VK2ZRH. So there you go. So that's your blooming lot. A Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. And happy holiday season. Please stay safe out there, and enjoy the festive time over the Christmas break. So the next time I see you will be in 2026. So happy New Year to all. 73, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.